This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about Jalen Carter and Saquon Barkley and how Saquon Barkley took Jalen Carter under his wing. Also, Kellen Moore had cursed out Dan Orlovsky. And lastly, the Jalen Hurts disrespect. I mean, it got to be studied, but let's get straight into it. Man, before we hop straight into it, let's shout out today's sponsor, BetUS. Use promo code U2150 on your first deposit, get 150% boost, and on your next two deposits, you get 125% boost. Again, shout out BetUS. And let's get into the quick hits. All right. So let's talk about Moro Ojomo, man. I had to squeeze him in some way, somehow, pause in the video because Moro Ojomo just been absolutely amazing to me, especially in the pass rushing. And these are the numbers of what he did just far as pass rushing. So Moro Ojomo has the third highest win rate among defensive tackles with at least 300 pass snaps, explosive, disruptive, and he's becoming a really good player. Now, when you look at Moro Ojomo, and shout out to like Thomas and Mott and those guys, and it really made me think about it. I was watching a live stream. You guys know I'm a big Milton Williams fan, but Milton Williams, you know, he can't squeeze the orange out of us. And what I mean by that is if he demands a lot of money, maybe we could move on with Moro Jomo, but me knowing Howie Roseman, he's going to try to keep his defensive linemen, especially if he drafting them and they in their prime. He's going to try to keep them regardless, no matter who it is, because our rotation. But if somebody's trying to offer, Milton Williams the max or whatever, it'd be like, okay, cool. We got Moro Jomo. Maybe we enter the draft and get another guy, but again, Moro Jomo is becoming one of those guys. And it's crazy because he was drafted in the seventh round, and one of the things was him coming out of college, like he's a good run stopper. Everybody knew that. But can he become that pass rusher? That was the question about Moro Jomo. And he was slightly undersized, if I'm not mistaken. But now when you look at him, like he became like a pass rushing specialist. A pass. I mean, man, he been awesome. So again, shout out to Moro Jamo, man, doing this thing. And let's get into the injury report. So the injury report is somewhat, I won't call it irrelevant because it was technically practice, but the guy we was all looking for is Brandon Graham. So we all knew his practice window open. Will he be limited? Will he be a full participant? And he was limited, but it was just good to see him out there. And he spoke at the press conference with Elliot Shore Parks and those guys, and this is what he had to say about playing in the Super Bowl.
It just don't let you. It don't let you lock out. Well, it don't let you. Get that. You get the extension, but it's not. It don't let you. Get it from like a bending. I'm pretty much like halfway and then shooting out. But man, I don't feel restricted at all. It's a good look. It's a good balance. And man, whatever I got to do to get ready for this one game, I feel like I can do it.
You said you felt good out there from a cardio perspective in terms of in football shape. So is it something where if you are able to play, you're like full go, or do you think it'll probably be a snap count?
If I'm gonna go out there, it's gonna be full go. I'm not gonna try to get in the way of like these guys work their butt off, for this moment. And we all, whenever coach put me in, I'm gonna just make sure it's hey, all the way. And man, I mean, leave it all on the field, and that's what I'm gonna do. Any rep I get out there, hopefully I can help change the game a little bit.
So look, he like it's all or nothing, and he don't want to slow down anything. Like he's saying, like if I come back and I'm messing up a rotation, take me out. But he's going to give it a full go. And I like Brandon Graham unselfishness. I should say he's being selfless. I don't know. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but he see what Nolan Smith and those guys doing, Josh Sweat and those guys. But honestly, I think with him coming back, I don't think he takes snaps from like Jalen Hunt or Nolan Smith. I think he actually take a few snaps from Josh Sweat. The reason why is because we've seen this story before about Josh Sweat is that if Josh Sweat is not in a deep rotation, he tends to struggle. Because you see, once we start going to just that 3-man, and really etched out Bryce Huff, that's when Josh Sweat really started, struggling. And we seen that last year. We went to a shorter rotation, and Josh Sweat wasn't the same. And it seemed like that happened again this year. So Brandon Graham will really help Josh Sweat because the less snaps Josh Sweat take, he tends to be more, explosive, to be better. Because when Josh Sweat is tired and gassed, it's not a good thing to watch. Not at all. And then it feel like I'm a Josh Sweat critic right now, but he's not that good against the run. Whereas the Brandon Graham beats. He sniff out everything. Brandon Graham, he been in this game way too long. It's hard to trick him. So just having him there, I think it benefits the team. Because I know a lot of people 50-50 on that. Like, well, maybe it hurt the team with him coming back because you don't want to mess up the rotation. I don't see any negatives in my personal opinion. Because Vic Fangio is not the guy like, well, he's retiring, so let's get him some snaps, this and that. We know how Vic Fangio is. He will pull you. He he would, sit you on the bench if you're not producing. Like, he's not one of those farewell guys. And he even told Brandon Graham, like, look, we know it's your last year, but this ain't no farewell tour. If you can play, you're on that field. You're not about to just ride the bench and take a roster spot. No, if you can play, you're definitely playing. So we'll see. We'll see, man. To me, it just doesn't hurt to have Brandon Graham out there. Right, so let's get into the main topics, all right? So in the title, I put something like Jalen Carter. It's like little bro to Saquon Barkley, or Saquon Barkley is Jalen Carter big bro. Because shout out to Anthony DeBona. He put up two clips. So a clip came out, I think 2 days ago, of Saquon Barkley hugging Jalen Carter. Like, yeah, man, we got one more. We didn't just get here to stop right here, or something like that. He was hugging him. But I remember in the Saints game, and obviously Anthony DeBona did too, when Saquon Barkley went up to Jalen Carter, was like, yo, they scared of you. Like, they scared. And this is when the Saints were hot. And a lot of people thought we was going to lose. And we ended up winning that game, man. It was a, full circle moment of those two guys. And it's strange because you usually don't see that, whereas though an offensive guy and the defensive guy is that cool, whereas though the offensive guy take the defensive guy under his wing, because we know Jalen Carter, he need those mentors. But enough for me talking. I'm gonna play the clip just in case some of you guys forgot.
JC, why not today, bro? Make you a mark, dog. I'm telling you, bro. I played against you. You that mother, bro. They're scared of you, bro. They are scared of you. Hey, bro. Let's get this. It's gonna take all of us, especially
you see what I mean? Just that full circle moment. And it'd be a great moment if these guys win the Super Bowl together. It'd be an awesome moment. So I'm happy Saquon is here because a lot of people talk about what he did on the field or what he's doing on the field is really helping the team. But I think the things he's doing off the field is just as equally as important. I think he keep a lot of these guys' egos in check, offense and defense. Jalen Carter, you see on the sideline, or he's talking to AJ and he's talking to Jalen Hurts, or he's talking to Smitty, Goddard. He deserves a C on his chest. I think he keeps the team intact. He keeps the team glued together because he's not just one of those captains that just talking. Like, he's literally the best player on the team right now. So again, man, Saquon Barkley, just the leadership alone is really strong, and then to be on this historic run, like, it's a couple times he could have like exploded, meaning he could have got really upset that he ain't have a chance to break the record, or it was just times we benched him because we wanted him to get rest for the next game. And again, when you look back at the season, he had plenty of opportunities, but Saquon is a nice guy, and this he might be rewarded for his generosity by getting the Super Bowl. So again, man, Saquon Barkley is is a blessing to the Philadelphia Eagles for sure. All right, so let's get into this topic. Kellen Moore somewhat cursed out Dan Orlovsky, but let me play this clip.
I was with Kellen for a couple years. Kellen and I competed to be a backup in Detroit for a couple years. He actually texted me last week or 2 weeks ago when I, was really critical of him on TV with some of his game plan, and he said, "Hey, thanks for the shout out. It's been a fun media week, LOL." So his personality, I think, has grown a lot. Like when I was with him, he was a little bit. Reserved, super intelligent. Didn't necessarily like command a room like some guys do in a head coaching role. But I do think it's grown. I look at the text and I say, okay, he's a little bit more comfortable in his skin for him to text me that, and a little bit like a fu to me in many ways. So
Whoa.
I think if he's kind of grown in that role, he's super smart, and he's very much so smart enough. And I like the fact that he was in Dallas. I like the fact that he was in LA. I like the fact that he was in Philly, kind of experiencing a lot of different places. I think gives these coaches really good vantage points of what it looks like, what it doesn't look like. And so I'll be rooting for him. I think the world of him.
Okay, so I like that he's texting you. Let's stay in Philadelphia. Has anybody else texted you from there? We shall see.
No, Sirianni.
See, that's what Dan Orlovsky had to say about Kellen Moore. Like, Kellen Moore watches. Let's just say that. He watches what people say. And, Dan Orlovsky has been the big critic of Kellen Moore, let's be honest, about some of his play calling. All of us have. And, him and Dan Orlovsky know each other because I believe both played for Detroit. And he's like, yo, Kellen Moore sent me a couple FUs in so many different ways. Because, Dan Orlovsky supposed to be the guy that breaks down the tape. And, again, there was some games where I'm like, I don't know what the hell Kellen Moore is doing. But I like it. I like it a lot. And he also mentioned like Kellen Moore's personality, how he's more, laid back type dude, but he's starting to see like that leadership come out, because that's why I believe Kellen Moore is not getting hired, is because, yeah, you could be the smartest guy, but can you lead a group of men, offense and defense? We know you can call plays, but can you lead a group of men? So this is a good thing for the Saints, not really us. Hopefully he just stay that smart guy, want to be the offensive coordinator. In my personal opinion, just to get a little bit off track, I don't think he should take the Saints job. And it's not me being like biased because I want him to stay. It's because he probably get fired like the first year. They had cap hell. They got to cut probably some premier players to get that cap right. And it's just a job destined to fail. Let's be honest. Maybe it'll have Derek Carr and, Alvin Kamara, but that's really it. But the Bucs are only going to get better. The Panthers is only going to get better. The Falcons only going to get better. But I don't see better for the Saints. Not at all. So if I'm him, I will wait another year and see how it goes. It's not really a strong quarterback class either. It's just a job that's in the fail unless they go into it like, look, the season is going to be some shit, but next season, let's get it right. So, we'll wait and see. But again, it's good to see Kellen Moore. He's watching. He's listening to the critics. Obviously, he listens to the players, because when the players start complaining and when the fans start complaining, I can't lie, changes are made. Whereas though last year, we're like, yo, just use some intermediate routes. Please use the middle of the field. And we just wouldn't do it last year because we just didn't have the coaches to do it. But now you see it like it's a bit different. A bit different. So, again, shout out Kellen Moore, man, for cursing out the bull. All right. So, lastly, let's get into the last topic. The Jalen Hurts disrespect, man. I hate to see it from Cam Newton. I really do. We've been hearing this as Eagles fans for a while. If Jalen Hurts was on the AFC, or if the Eagles was on the AFC, they wouldn't be doing what they've been doing. We all know the NFC is built on team. Maybe you get like a top 10-ish quarterback or even below that, but the NFC always been built on team for a couple years now. Like, look at the Rams. Like, they had a lot of pieces. Or if you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won, even though they had Tom Brady, they had a lot of pieces in like Antonio Brown and Mike Evans and stuff like that. Whereas though you look at the AFC, it's quarterback heavy. Let's be honest. Like the top 5 quarterbacks are possibly in the AFC. Maybe you could squeeze some NFC guys in there, but let's be honest. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. That's 3 right there that you could put in your top 3. I'm not a big Justin Herbert guy, but a lot of people like him. But yeah, they got a lot of quarterbacks. CJ Stroud is definitely, top 10-ish. I think his number had dropped to me after this year, but they got quarterbacks. Whereas though Lions at full strength, is there a team that can beat the Lions on the AFC side without including the quarterback? No. Eagles at full strength. No. And then when you look at Jalen Hurts' record against the AFC, a lot of people like to brag about Lamar Jackson's record. I think Lamar Jackson is like 15-2. He lost to the Giants and Eagles. Jalen Hurts is like 14 or 15-1, and we lost to the Jets. But if you include the Super Bowl, we lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. So Jalen Hurts don't really lose in the AFC. That's why I just thought it was asinine what Cam Newton said. But just in case the people forgot, let me play the clip.
In all type of different name callings because of my game-changing, game manager viewpoint.
Yeah.
All of the game changers are in the AFC. If you put the Philadelphia Eagles or Jalen Hurts in the AFC, would he be able to have gotten to the Super Bowl as many times?
Well, I mean, probably not, because Patrick Mahomes would be standing in his way.
But NFC, when you see Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, that's must-see TV, yes?
Yes.
When you see Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or even Joe Burrow, that's must-see TV, right?
Yes.
What's must-see TV in the NFC?
You see what I mean? Like, it was just a bad take, man. And again, we've been hearing this for a while, but I just hate to see it come from Cam Newton. And again, bad take. This game changer, game manager takes. I think Jalen Hurts, man, if he win the Super Bowl, he gonna shut a lot of people up. A lot of people up, man. So I can't wait to see him win it. And again, it's just Cam Newton. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel? The Jalen Carter, Saquon Barkley. Also, the Jalen Hurts hate, the Kellen Moore cursing out Dan Orlovsky. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.